Hi, Miriam here from Miriam's Creative Dreams, and today I'm sharing with you a card that I've made for the Country View Crafts Challenge for March, which is The Eyes Have It. And today I've got a pre-scored card. I'm using the wonderful new Tim Holtz Snarky Cats stamp set. Absolutely adore these. They are just so cute, and any cat lovers I'm sure will fall in love with them. But to go with each of the wonderful images, the snarky comments are just perfect, so I'll be using those. I've also pre-cut some layers just so you didn't really have to watch me die cutting while I'm recording the video. I've cut a banner, and I've also pre-stamped my quote, purely because one of my failings is actually stamping straight, so I wanted to make sure I got it right first time. I have some of my polychroma pencils, and I also have some distress ink as well. So first things first, I'm going to stamp and colour my image, and I'm going to go for this one here, mainly because he reminds me of my Sid. My Sid is, it's actually 10 tomorrow, and he's a very big and fluffy cat, although he is very shy and timid, and I just love the startled look in this little one's eyes, because it really does remind me of how scared he gets sometimes. So I'm just going to mount this on the acrylic block. I'm using archival ink to stamp in, but obviously you can use whatever medium you choose, dependent on what method you're using to colour with. And I'm using polychroma, so I could use basically anything, but obviously if you are using alcohol ink, you need to use a Memento ink pad. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp my little fella. There we go. I've stamped him slightly to the left because the banner I'm going to stick to the right, so I don't want too much of my image covered. But how cute is he? And I didn't actually notice until today that he's even got a little belly button there, which is ever so cute. Okay, now I'm no colourist, so my colouring is very basic, but I'm just going to start with the lighter colour, the lighter of my greys, and just in circular motions and very, very lightly I'm going to start to colour most of this image in. I'm going fairly quickly, purely so you don't have to watch me colour for ages, and as I said, I'm definitely no colourist, so it really is quite basic for me. But basic's good, I like basic, and I love colouring as well, so here we go. The idea will be to build up your layers until you're happy with them, but I won't be doing that today purely because I would be sat here for hours colouring and colouring until I think, okay, that really is enough now. I've been doing it for most of the day. But I normally like colouring when I'm sat in front of the TV, maybe with a glass of wine, and just find it quite relaxing. This one's such a cutie. But yes, he reminds me of my very large pussycat, who's not a Maine Coon, but I would say there's definitely some sort of cross in him because of the size he is, and God forbid he ever needed to be shaved, it really would show that it really is all fur. He's such a cutie though. Okay, so now I'm using my darker of the greys just to go over a bit darker in some of the areas, mainly around the edges of him. I just wanted to give him a bit of colour, but I chose to buck my trend actually. I've gone very grey for this card. Normally I revert to my blues and greens, my old faves, my safe colours I guess. But I thought I'd try something a little bit different for this video. Now I'm not sure whether many of you have managed to get your hands on the new Tim Holtz release yet. I was incredibly lucky. I ordered as soon as I got the message from Country View Crafts that they were available to purchase. I am a bit disappointed though, because I put the field notes in and out of my basket, constantly trying to decide whether I wanted them. Didn't buy them at first, went back a couple of hours later and everything was sold out, which is testament to just how wonderful this February release is, but a bit disappointing because I've now got to wait, although Susan assures me that they should be with her over the next week, hopefully, so fingers crossed, although if this horrid storm in the UK keeps up today, I'm sure that will cause some delays with customs and having things shipped over. I know Bristol Airport has had quite a few cancellations today, and looking out of my window I can just see the wave of rain and wind going across my garden, which is quite scary actually. I'm hoping it starts to die down soon. Okay. So as you can see, I'm just going in little circular motion. I'm not giving it too much. Let's go back over in a bit of grey, although I will just colour that bit. He looks like he's got some his sleeves rolled up. Okay. I'm not going to do too much more, purely because I don't want to bore you through colouring. As I said, otherwise we would be here for quite some time, which I'm sure you won't enjoy. Okay. Right, I've got a little bit of pink as well. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of pink. It's going to be my only pop of colour in his ears. I might even just give him just a touch around the eyes. Nose. Okay. Oh, he's ever such a cutie. Okay. I'm now just using a white, and I'm going all over just to try to see if I can blend some of that in and take away some of the pencil marks. What I love about my polychromos is just how easy they are to blend over each other, but obviously you can use wherever pencils or pens or mediums you have. You could even just use distressing and use a water brush to colour this. That always gives beautiful effects, but polychromos tend to be my medium of choice when it comes to colouring. There we go. I think he's probably okay for now. And then the other thing I'm going to do is just ink around the edge with my applicator tool, and I've just got some black soot distressing. As you can see, I'm not taking much care. I'm just going on quite quickly. I've already done my larger mat, but I haven't done my my quote, so I'll do part of it. I'm not going to do all of it though, because I'll be cutting some off, as you'll see shortly, and then I'll just quickly cut the last bit there. Okay. So now I think it's as simple as starting to put everything together. I'm just going to get some foam pads out ready. So this is the really easy bit. I'm sure I don't need to teach you all to glue stuff down. So I'm just using Cosmic Shimmer Glue. It's always been my favourite glue. You can use tape, you can use just Pritt Stick if you wanted, because there's nothing heavy on this card. But I just tend to always use my Cosmic Shimmer. If nothing else, it means I don't need to have loads of different types of glue. Okay, before I do anything there, I'm just going to ink around the edges here as well, just to take that white edge off my card. So the squares and the tags I've used are Secret products coming from Lisa Horton Crafts. They are stitched dies, and they're fabulous to work with actually. I just love the detail around them. Okay. So this is the bit where I quicken up just because it's fairly easy and simple. Okay. Hoping that's straight. I don't want to stand up and knock the camera. Actually what I'll do is I'm going to glue this to the square. And the other thing I love about using wet glue especially is that it just gives me that extra little bit of wriggle room, so if I notice something's not quite straight, I could try to rectify it straight away. So I'm just going to use some foam pads on the back to give it a little bit of lift. Then I'm going to, if I can ever get these off. Sometimes these are, I use a pokey tool or a pin to get these off because I don't have very long nails at all. But what I tend to find, no matter how hard I try to clear these away, I always find one either on the floor, or I've even found it stuck in cat fur a couple of times. I've had to go and peel it off him. Sid does like to come and join me in my craft room, and I've normally got a little blanket right by the window in front of me for him as well. Okay, so let's get this up. I'm going to put it a little bit higher than I normally would. It's not going to be completely centre, and that's because I'm going to put my my banner down. Okay. I've not glued that completely because I am cutting some of this off. I just want to know where to. Okay, probably about there. So I'm going to put some more foam pads on there, just up until the point of where I'm going to stop, I think. I think it was around there. So it'd be nice for you to leave some comments to let me know what new craft stash you've bought recently, or even what you are waiting to arrive, because after Creativation I know I had a really long list of things and most of it hasn't yet hit the market. It's either in transit or it's being released in another month or so. I think Paper Artsy have their products, their new launch products coming out all the way up until April, which is very exciting. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that down. It's going to cover his foot a tiny bit, but I don't mind that. I just wanted a bit of the pop of the grey to come through. Okay, so I'm just going to take my scissors and cut that off. I'm going to just give one final ink there to bring that in line. Okay. So there you have it. So that's my first project for the Country View Crafts challenge for March, which is The Eyes Have It, and I'm sure you'll see his eyes are definitely quite bold and alert, I think is probably the most appropriate word. So thank you for joining me today. Give me a thumbs up if you've liked my video. By all means tell me if there's any other videos you'd like to see from me. And make sure you pop over to Country View Crafts blog, the challenge blog, to see what the rest of the DT team have created and the inspiration for this month. Thank you.